Utah. Starting at shooting guard, 6 feet 7 inches, number 10, Stanislav Fakaru. Starting at small forward, at 6 foot 9 inches, number 19, Ace Bailey. Man in the middle, standing 6 foot 11, number 30, Yusuf Nurkic. Starting at the other guard, 6 feet 4 inches, number 3, Deontay Jordan. Starting at the other forward position, 7 feet 1 inch, number 23, Lauri Markkanen. Your head coach is Will Hardy. Your Utah Jazz.
Now a look at Detroit's starting lineup. Thompson and Harris make up the forwards. Cunningham is out there with Duncan Robinson. And it's Duren in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Utah, Lauri Markkanen out there with Bailey. Then there's Keontae George. Then it's Yusuf Nurkic. And it's Mikhailuk in at the two-guard spot. Well, Coach, something you love about watching games, it's observing the dynamic of these NBA matchups.
Yeah, I like watching great guards challenge the bigs. I like watching defensive stoppers switch on to a star player. You never see the same story develop twice. Well, equally gifted rolling to the rim as he is popping out for the jumper. Markkanen is the ideal pick-and-roll partner.
Now here's Cunningham. Against Sacramento, he was really on his game. Robinson gets the bucket.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Will Hardy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. Much of our discussion centered around Cade Cunningham. He said that's their catalyst. They look to him to control the pace, to read the defense, and to make the right basketball play, which he usually does. He is very tough to neutralize. Brian, back to you.
All right, appreciate it, Allie. Now here's Duren. You know, his stats have been solid, averaging around 18.5 points a game. The three, here's Harris. And the Pistons, another three.
You know, Harris blossomed into a stretch big, putting tons of work into his three-point stroke.
Good passing to set that up. Teamwork on display.
Detroit has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. And you look for bright spots in this developing core for Utah, Greg. What stands out?
Well, I think it's the front court, B.A. You have two gifted scoring forwards in Markkanen and Bailey. Then you've got Walker Kessler, an elite shot blocker, manning the middle.
First quarter, just over a minute and a half in. Nurkic a screen on Cunningham. Pass to Mikhailuk. It's George on the wing. He's watched by Cunningham. 5 on the clock. Markkanen. Now here's Nurkic. It's George on the wing. And here's Bailey for 3. And Cunningham pulls it down. Thompson gets a good look. Rebounded by Nurkic. For Utah, they've gone 2 for 5 here in the first. And George with the jam.
Yes, sir. George with the flush.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. To the inside. Here's Harris. And Harris throws it down.
B.A., the one-hand dunk just looks so fluid.
Yeah, absolutely. Even smooth when he's powering it home like that. And it's Utah with the ball. 4-point game. Last game matched up with the Grizzlies. A tough loss there.
It was just a challenging game for them. They executed well, but just not well enough to put themselves over the top.
Yeah, but those are the games you can learn from. You see where you are now and where you need to get to.
The shot by Mikhailuk, no good.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
Thompson's shot is off. And so Will Hardy calls a timeout. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
Honestly, they were just outclassed in that one. We thought it would be a tough night for them, and it was.
Well, it's never fun when you're expected to lose a game. You just got to put it behind you, not carry it into the next one.
Collier, he's checked in for Bailey.
For your Jazz, number 8, Isaiah Collier.
Jazz trail by 4. Here's Collier. In his last outing, 8 points for him. Here's Nurkic. Duran with a rebound. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in this first quarter. Here's Thompson. And it goes. As the official calls the foul, count it, and he'll shoot one more at the line. Well, with his foundation defensively, Coach, everything else is a bonus for Asar Thompson.
Yeah, and actually, B.A., he's becoming more proficient on the offensive end. The evolution of Asar's game, that'll be a big part of this team's success going forward. Well, it'll be fun to watch Asar Thompson develop over his first few years in the league.
And stolen by Cunningham. It's 2-on-1. The pull-up J. The rebound by the Jazz. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Here's George. Buries the jump shot.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Now here's Thompson. He's another guy who had a great performance in that win against Sacramento. Harris's shot is good.
And they've settled in quickly today. A nice flow and rhythm to their offense.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Jazz. Trailing by 8. Here's Collier. And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
Yeah, every coach wants assisted buckets. Guys like George, they move the ball.
And thanks to AT&T for a great look at that dunk on their connected cam. The Pistons have got 6 of 10 attempts to fall. Thompson outside. Back to Cunningham. Yes, and a nice assist from Thompson.
I just love the ball movement.
Utah has gone 0 for 2 from outside. Cunningham against George. Here's Mikhailuk. The putback. Nurkic. And terrific work on the offensive glass as he picks up the deuce.
And for Nurkic, one of his key attributes, the ability to keep the play alive on the glass.
Robinson for 3. And Detroit another 3.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
43 seconds left to play in the first. Here's Collier. Robinson defending. And the shot goes. Collier's got his second bucket on the night.
Getting enough shots in close to play inside out.
We've got 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Pass to Duran. Robinson for 3. Utah grabs the miss. Nurkic has got his 5th rebound in this one. And here's George. Let's go with a 3. Here's Markkanen. And Markkanen with the stuff.
Grabs the board and goes right in for the putback. I love it, B.A.
Yeah, wanting to close the gap. Makes sense to get aggressive on the glass here.
And he was dominant in their last outing. And the same thing here tonight. He is in a terrific mood right now.
Yeah, for sure. He is just oozing confidence. thinks every shot is going.
The previous play is under review.
Indeed, they're going to look at it again. They need to be certain he beat the buzzer.
And they're going to take another look at the replay to make sure. But to me, it looked like he got it off in time.
After the review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
And after reviewing the play, it looks like they're overturning the call here. That basket is good.
It would have been a real shame if those points didn't count. I'm so glad the officials were able to take a second look and make the right call.
It's been all about Tobias Harris for Detroit. 11 points in the quarter. He's on fire. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
You know, another thing that has impressed me has been their numbers of points in the paint, just dominating down there. They're just getting whatever shot they want in close.
Setting the floor for Detroit. They've got Ivy. Karis LeVert is out there with Holland. Then it's Isaiah Stewart, and it's Jenkins in at the point. And the bucket is good.
We've seen that more than once today. An effortless basket inside.
Detroit leading by 5. Pass to Stewart. Ivy outside. Back to Stewart for 3. It's rebounded by Hendricks.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
And Stan, the Pistons' J.B. Bickerstaff, the runner-up last season for Coach of the Year.
Well, yeah, instead it went to Kenny Atkinson, who replaced him in Cleveland. But B.A. talking about landing on your feet, Bickerstaff showing again he can turn things around.
Detroit has gone 5 of 8 from outside the three-point line in this one. Time to go courtside and hear what's going on with Ace Bailey. Allie, what's his status?
I checked briefly with the head athletic trainer for Utah. He let me know that it's a strained hip, which causes plenty of soreness and shooting pain in that area. They've decided this is an injury that can be played through, but we'll see if it's a limiting factor. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks.
Yeah, so much changes around the league year to year, but the danger and impact of injury remains largely the same. It's not enough to be good. You gotta be lucky, too.
For the Jazz, Lauri Markkanen's checked in for Love. Bailey comes in for Hendricks. And Mikhailuk subbed in for Sensabaugh. Detroit also making some changes. Thompson, he's checked in for Holland. Robinson comes in for LeVert. And Cunningham subbed in for Jenkins.
And when you talk about Ivy, his explosiveness really stands out, especially when he's running the floor.
Here's Filipowski. No good off the glass.
Well, he's got the green light in that situation. They want him taking that shot, even if he didn't get it to go.
Thompson passes to Cunningham. And here's Ivy from the arc. The rebound by Filipowski. Jazz trail by 5. Markkanen with a screen on Ivy to the middle. Pass to Bailey. Filipowski sets a screen from the arc. Knocks it down from distance. Bailey's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. Cunningham looking it over. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. And now let's turn to the 2K leaderboard for a look at the squads that have the most points in transition over the past 10 games. Number 1, Detroit.
Over the last few weeks, they've been high-flying, getting up and down the court with conviction.
The Jazz making a switch here. Nurkic is checked in. Harris is checked in for the Pistons. Pass to Mikhailuk. All right, for those just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second. Here's Nurkic. That misses. And a chance to tie it. And so Cunningham will bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. They put up a nice win against Sacramento last time out.
Dialing it in from range on the road is never easy to do, but they pulled it off and played a great game.
Yeah, great three-point shooting is so often what swings a game these days. When they're rolling from outside, they're tough to beat.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey team, Cade Cunningham is leading the way for this Pistons team. Coach J.B. Bickerstaff said he shows belief in his teammates, and that's what leadership is. He's with you during the good and the bad. That gives the rest of his team more comfort and confidence. Back to you, Brian.
Establishing the mindset. Allie, thanks very much for the report. Jazz trail by 5. Well, Grant, Tobias Harris has been around the league. What's his best asset?
You know, I think it's his reliability and versatility. Harris is always on the floor, having led the NBA in games played multiple times. And he just gets the job done.
Now here's Harris. He picked up 24 points in their last win against Sacramento. Robinson gets the bucket. And now a 7-point Detroit lead.
Proving he's more than just a perimeter threat. Nice job by Robinson inside there.
For Utah, they've got 3 of 6 shots to go here in the second quarter. And here's Bailey for 3. Gets it to go. That makes him 2 for 3 in this game.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
Rob! And the Jazz pushing it up now. Utah moving the ball around. The jump hook. Pass to Collier. Fires the 3. The rebound by Stewart. The Pistons lead by 4. Kicks it out to Cunningham. And the 3 off target. Utah's gone 2 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the second. There's a screen by Nurkic. And here's Bailey for 3. And the three-pointer goes. Bailey's got 9.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust.
Okay, fans, put your hands together for your
George, he's checked in for Utah. Jalen Duren, he's checked in for Detroit. Now let's check out the Western Conference standings and see how they look here in December. You look at the Jazz, they're way down there in the conference, but still optimistic they can turn it around. And there's a minute 45 left in the second. On the wing, Thompson. Pass to Duren. Kicks it out to Cunningham. Just 5 to shoot. And Duren with the basket on the assist by Cunningham. Cunningham's got his 6th assist of the night. 1:21 left to play in the first half. And last season, the Jazz with the worst record in franchise history.
You're losing with a plan, though. Utah, such a smart organization. If you're going to tear it down to the studs, do it in a good draft year.
Pass to Duren. Thompson outside. Lets the 3 fly. Utah grabs the miss. 50 seconds left in the first half. Bailey, the pass to Mikhailuk. Takes the 3. Another 3 for Utah.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
And he's going for the oop here.
And for a younger guy, Cunningham's vision is impressive. He's always watching the floor.
Here's Utah. They're on a 12-4 run. Pass to Nurkic. Shoots over Duren. Again, Utah good for 2.
Yeah, when you make your mid-range shots, you force your opponents to adjust.
Well, look, he's got the length to get that shot off regardless of how the defense plays.
Outside Robinson. Pass to Cunningham. Nice touch by Cunningham inside. And And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. Jazz out in front, up by 1. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
Hello and welcome. Before we take a look at the action from the first half, a brief overview of some upcoming games.
This stretch could break their season, but it could also make their season if they step up.
When I was playing, I like these kind of games, to tell you the truth.
And let's review how things are going for the Jazz. They find themselves in a tight one here at the half.
I love the depth of this team, man. Their subs have been huge tonight, giving them a scoring punch that they needed most.
And credit their coach for a rather liberal substitution pattern. He mixed and matched beautifully in that first half. And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. Boy, you look at Tobias Harris in this game, he's been everywhere.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
And so Cunningham will bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. Vyacheslav Mikhailuk is out there with Deontay George. Then it's Lauri Markkanen. Then it's Bailey. And it's Nurkic in at the center spot. And that's the group for Will Hardy as we begin the second half. Utah trailing here. Nurkic a screen on Cunningham. George for 3. Kept alive. Nurkic banked it in off the glass. Nurkic just got 6 points.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Harris left side. Back to Cunningham. Duran with a screen on George. And here's Cunningham outside. Nails it from beyond the arc. Cunningham's got 5 points in the quarter. Utah has gone 6 for 12 from deep so far in this game. The top pick in his draft, Cade Cunningham, was brought in to turn the Pistons around, Coach.
Oh, absolutely, B.A., but people got frustrated that it didn't happen right away. But after some good personal years, but not so good for the team, B.A. Cade led the Pistons to the playoffs last year.
Here's Cunningham, following the 3 by Utah. That one's good for 2. He's got 11.
And their offensive game plan is clear. Get it inside and go to work.
Until Will Hardy calls the timeout. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. And a chance here to check out some stats for Cade Cunningham. Here's George. 10 points for him. Markkanen with a screen on Cunningham to the paint. Markkanen finds Nurkic. Markkanen sets a screen for 3. George! And it's Harris with the rebound. The Pistons have gone 3 of 3 in the second half. And Cunningham throws it down.
Well, that's the kind of assertive play you want to see more of from Cunningham.
Jazz trail by 3. George outside. On the take. Sinks that one. Now shooting 5 of 10 and looking sharp.
Well, that's easy pickings for him. Unless the defense is all over him, he'll take that all day long.
For Detroit, they've gone 4 of 4 in this third quarter. Perfect so far. George against Cunningham. Cunningham steps on the gas, and Cunningham throws it down.
Assertive drive by Cunningham. just took off and never looked back.
Just under 2.5 minutes into this third quarter now. Pass to Bailey. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Harris misses.
Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
And last season, the Pistons became the first team ever to triple their win total from the previous campaign.
Yeah, going from the worst record in the association in 2024 to a playoff team in 2025. And now they look to just keep on rising.
Here's Bailey. 9 points in the game. Three-pointer. That one no good. And he lobs it up to the rim. It's 2-on-1. Here's Mikhailuk. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist. George has got his 4th assist with that last one. Here's Cunningham. He's got 15. Inside. Stolen. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Well, the Utah Jazz are going young, but this is a franchise that has a winning history, and that culture is still around. Coach Will Hardy said, the messaging doesn't change. The players have bought into the little things that takes to win. This is a cohesive group that's committed to helping each other. Back to you guys.
Building the right way. Thanks a lot, Allie. And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. He's going to talk it over with his guys. I wonder, of all the things you can teach players, can you teach great passing?
I really don't think you can, B.A. You can teach solid, fundamental passing. You can teach guys to make fewer mistakes by better use of fundamentals. But the great passers have great vision, and I just don't think that's something you can teach. I think that's something that guys gain over their time and experience playing the game of basketball.
Here's Jenkins. Looking at his stats, he's putting up about 7.5 per game. Here's Harris. Missed it. 5 for 7 from the field. Utah leading. Here's Bailey. Again, Utah.
He's getting it done offensively, making winning plays at every turn.
A minute 37 left in the third. Outside Robinson. For 3, here's Harris. Rebounded by Nurkic. Nurkic has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Here's Filipowski. Over Harris. And it's Harris with the rebound. Harris has got 4 rebounds in the game to end the run. Detroit moving the ball around. To the left wing. Jenkins' shot is good.
Over his long career, when you look at the assist numbers for Harris, they're very good for a wing.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Jazz. The lead is 2. There's the 3. Detroit with a rebound.
Well, he certainly had trouble finding the mark this quarter.
Robinson on the wing. Connects from downtown. Robinson's got 11 points.
Well, when your shot is as polished as Robinson's, you can be that fast with your motion.
40 seconds left to play in the third quarter of basketball. Down low. Here's Nurkic. Hits the rim on the way in, and the bucket is good. And the Jazz lead by 1. These teams just keep trading the lead.
Yeah, you wonder what it's going to take for someone to pull away.
Right side, Robinson. Here's Jenkins. From outside, off the mark. Mikhailuk, pass to Filipowski. Here's Bailey. Shoots over Thompson, and that's not gonna go. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game thus far. Jazz out in front. They're up by 1. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, just shredding the defense with that feed. Zero chance to stop that.
Now that is an elite level dish. What a great pass.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we'll start the fourth in what is still anybody's ball game. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth. Cade and Ivy, they're the backcourt. Isaiah Stewart out there with Holland. And it's LeVert in at the small forward position. And Stewart with a basket on the assist from LeVert.
What I love about Stewart, he never backs down. Plays the game with passion that's rarely seen.
Utah trailing here. Marketed up top. To the right side. Three-pointer. Hits a three-pointer. Sensabaugh's gotten himself on the board with a 3 there. Oh, this one has turned into an absolute nail-biter.
Yeah, at this point, you almost expect it to come down to the last possession.
Cunningham, good. 8 buckets in 12 attempts.
Yeah, you have to give him a lot of credit here. He's turned things around after a disappointing first half.
And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Pass to Filipowski. Here's Collier. Fires from deep. Detroit with a rebound. Stewart's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's LeVert. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Nurkic is checked in for Hendricks. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Harris is checked in for Holland. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Pistons.
Well, their passing has been just exceptional, and it's opened up the floor for them on numerous occasions.
And also, their mid-range game has been outstanding. They're just finding holes in the defense and exploiting them.
Shots good by Sensabaugh.
Way to rise to the occasion and snatch back the momentum.
Yeah, plenty of lead changes in this game. It's gone back and forth.
Now here's Cunningham. Pass to Stewart. Back to Cunningham. Shoots over Collier. Tries again. And there's the bucket as Stewart finishes it off. And the Pistons lead by 1.
Yeah, their defense is starting to wear down. That's 3 straight buckets at the rim.
Here's Filipowski, pounded by Harris. Markkanen against LeVert. Yep, count it.
But Markkanen's height is such an advantage in that mid-range area.
Detroit has got 7 of their 16 3-point attempts to go in. Harris outside. Count it, and 1. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play. It goes on Kyle Filipowski.
Second team foul.
Well, you need a real big-time star to win in this league. And Grant, the Pistons have that in Cade Cunningham.
Oh my, B.A. It took until year 4 for him to really break through. Already a player who can impact the game in so many ways, but when his numbers go up across the board, that's doing something special.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Bailey's checked in for Filipowski. Mikhailuk comes in for Sensabaugh. And it's Keontae George in for Collier. Detroit also making some changes. Duren, he's checked in for Stewart. Thompson comes in for LeVert. And it's Robinson in for Ivy. And the Jazz haven't been past the second round since 2007. Now trying to build a contender.
Well, B.A., they know in the West that's a tall order. They got to be patient and build this thing from the ground up.
Knocks down the triple.
He's been so aggressive on offense, and with the results, you understand why.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
Markkanen finds Nurkic. George! Oh, he comes right back with a three of his own.
They've been pretty lax with their perimeter defense, giving up a lot of three-pointers.
Cunningham with the ball. Unloads from 13 feet. Oh, he can't hit it. A bit under 3.5 minutes had passed here in the fourth.
And you know they were praying for that one to go down.
Yeah, they really wanted that bucket to go. You can't get discouraged, though. What a huge bucket by Harris, coming up big.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Utah Jazz. Trailing by 4. Here's Bailey. Jacks up a three. Booyah! He sinks the triple.
Coming down the stretch, they've leaned on the perimeter game.
Well, if you're looking to get points in a hurry as the game clock's running down, that's certainly the way to do it.
This is when your interior D has to be on high alert.
The Jazz have gotten 5 shots out of 9 to go in this fourth. Here's Markkanen. George outside. To tie it up. It's cleared away by Thompson.
At this point, I'm not sure if it's the play calling or the player himself.
Jazz trail by 3. Shoots a 3. Duren pulls it down. Harris. Robinson outside. The triple drop.
Robinson not afraid to let it fly from deep. You gotta get out on him.
George fires. Oh, missed on the tray.
They need buckets to stay in this game. That's not the shot they're looking for.
Rebounded by Markkanen.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
The free ball is down.
And they've been relying on his three-point stroke all game. And he doesn't let them down when it matters most.
Well, it's one thing to hit threes when it doesn't matter. It's another to do it in clutch time. Takes a special player.
Here's Bailey. And he nails it.
There is absolutely no fear in his eyes. He loves the moment.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
And J.B. Bickerstaff decides to call timeout. And a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
J.B. Bickerstaff had some words for his team over the break. He told the team he has complete faith in them, saying, "We're right there. Now we just got to make that push and really take hold of the game. We can do that." To me, it looked like his players are on the same page with him. Guys, back to you.
And Allie, thanks. Cunningham. Nurkic with a rebound.
That was a good look from the mid-range. He'd like to have that one back.
To take the lead. Buries it from outside.
They are unconscious from outside. And so far, the defense has had no answer.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
And the timeout called here by J.B. Bickerstaff. There is a lot on the line, and he is determined to make sure everyone's on the same page. From a coaching perspective, what are the keys to focus on here?
Tricky situation here. They need some kind of bucket to stay alive.
Yeah, clock is their enemy, and they know it. We'll see if they go for the tie or try and get a quick one.
Outside Cunningham. Now Duren. The ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Nurkic. And they foul intentionally. Now they're going to have to do that again. They're not in the penalty just yet.
Yeah, just a must-foul situation to stop the clock.
It's a three-point game. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
First personal foul, second team foul. At the line for 2, Deontay
George. He gets the first, and that gives him a 4-point cushion.
An intriguing young talent. Georgia's upside as a scorer is especially enticing.
So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
Well, that's outstanding execution in a big spot. He showed a lot of poise at the line right there.
Thompson! Oh, no good again that time. And an intentional foul right there.
Third team foul. At the line for your Jazz, Yusuf Nurkic. 2 shots.
And no good, as the first free throw misses. We'll see if he can hit the second. And no luck at the stripe this time. Second one won't fall. Cunningham fires! It's money from deep! And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Yeah, and there's no question they have to foul. Now, I'm sure they would have preferred to avoid it.
At the line for your Jazz, Keontae George. Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Hey, talk about a cool customer. Icing this one with some clutch free throws.
And so it's Utah who scraped by with the win. I'm sure they would have preferred a blowout victory, but a win's a win.
And so true, but you have to credit the crowd for giving them such a big boost toward the end. It really kept this team's energy high.
Let's send it courtside and check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Lori, an impressive win tonight. What do victories like this tell you about where this team is headed?
It gives us confidence. We showed that if we play well and we play defense down the stretch, we can beat. And we've shown it. We can compete with anybody. We just got to do it for a full game.
Confidence is key down the stretch. Thanks, Lori.
All right, Allie, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson signing off. And as we leave you, here's a look at our player of the game, Ace Bailey.